So I'm just
No.
gonna wait 1 more minute and then we'll start. Just as a housekeeping rule, if you could mute yourselves just so that there's no feedback. And give me 1 moment. Oh, hey guys. Oh, you guys look so cute. Okay. So welcome to Gen Green, our third webinar. If you can see in the corner, I have I have many of my youth stakeholders on the call right now. They were the ones who were instrumental in creating this event. Okay, Lisa, is Lisa there or no?
Yes, I am. Hello.
Hi. Some youths are having a hard time joining. I don't know why though.
Okay.
They probably have to download it.
Thank you. That's a very helpful advice, actually. Let me type that out. Okay. So for today's webinar, what we will actually be doing is, first off, I would like you all to introduce yourself to everyone on the group chat as I talk. Just say your name, your grade, and your school. And the reason we're doing this is A, to take attendance so we know who's attending our calls and which ages are attending as well. And also just to see if anyone in your school district or even in your region are also doing a project, and maybe you guys could team up together. So this is just a helpful way for both you and me as well, just to keep track, and hopefully you guys can make connections as well. So I will be facilitating this webinar today, and then Suha, who is a youth stakeholder, she will be running the chat. If you can see her in the corner over there, if she can wave, maybe. Yep, that's her right there. She will be monitoring the chat box for me on the Halton Environmental Network. And she will be taking any questions that you may have during the presentation. And at the end of the webinar, she will be telling me these questions, therefore I can answer. And I'm very jealous at the pizza that they're eating in the corner there, so that's great. So then we have Arlene. Arlene, could you say hi, please?
Hi guys, how are you? I'm Arlene from Agency Connection. So welcome. So hopefully we're going to learn a lot of things, and if you have any questions, you can easily ask Afrin and Suha.
Wonderful. Thank you, Arlene. So if anyone's from HMC, which is the Halton Multicultural Council, feel free to reach out to her if it's a specific question pertaining to HMC. If not, you're always welcome to message me or Suha or just the Halton Environmental Network in general. And we will be monitoring the chat, so please feel free. So of course, we start off with the land acknowledgement rights. So it's, as a community, we have the responsibility to honor, care for, and respect all the creation gives to provide us with life. This includes the land, water, air, fire, animals, plants, and our ancestors. The Anishinaabe people have utilized this land for millennia, and we would like to acknowledge their direct descendants, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, as the rightful caretakers and the title holders of this land upon which we live, work, and conduct ourselves. We acknowledge our treaty relationship and responsibilities to both the land and these original peoples. We also recognize that this land is rich in pre-contact history and customs, which includes the Anishinaabe and the Haudenosaunee. And since European contact has and continues to become home for Indigenous and non-Indigenous people, it is in the spirit and intent of the Dish with One Spoon, Wampum Agreement, whereby we will collectively care for and respect the land, water, animals, and each other in the interest of peace and friendship and for the benefit of not only ourselves, but to our future descendants. So, before we begin our webinar, I would like to let you know we have created like a format of the upcoming webinars that we will be having. So it is not mandatory to attend all of these. It's just for your betterment and to help you with your own community projects. We have moved our Gen Green wrap-up event to March 20th, which is the only in-person event that we have. This will have lots of festivities. We'll be celebrating your projects. You'll get a completion certificate. It'll be a lot of fun, but up until that point, we will be running bi-weekly webinars. So thank you everyone for messaging your names and your grades. That's wonderful. Please feel free to scroll through that chat to see if you recognize your school and see if you want to reach out, okay? So we do have a pre-webinar survey. If you can, we would really appreciate it if you could do it. It's just trying to see how you're feeling, and I think I can actually open this on the Halton Environmental Network side. Lisa, please. Just one moment. As she's getting that ready, if you guys could log on and just take the quick survey. It should take only 1 moment. And then we will actually be leading into a talk with Lisa Kohler, who will be speaking about Climate 101. So she'll be telling you about the science behind it and just a refresher so that you guys, oh, there we go.
Is my mic working?
Yes, it is.
There you go. And picture. Here you go. I'm out. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Doing good? Is everyone doing good?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Nice. So what are we doing?
So this is the survey, which is displayed on Lisa's screen. We really recommend that you guys take the survey just so we get some feedback if we're on the right track with these webinars, or if there's anything that you would like us to try to do for the next one. So just take a few moments to do that, and then we will move on, and Lisa will be talking about Climate 101.
Okay. Oh, where's the survey? I don't have it on my Gmail.
So if you go to menti.com and then you type in this code that's up here, the 3026,
Okay.
then it will pop up and you can do the quick survey.
Okay. Thank you.
So she's just going through the different questions that are there. And it's very quick and easy.
Nice. Oh, what happened to Zoom? There it is.
Yeah, so Suha just messaged on the chat. She gave the link for menti.com, and then she has the code as well, 3026, and it should take you only 1 minute to do.
Okay.
And this is for our learning purposes so that we can better help you through your projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we're on grade 12.
Okay. So before I hand it over to Lisa, who will be speaking about Climate 101, I do want to remind you that you can always ask questions in the chat box to me personally, to everyone, or to Suha, and we will be recording them and we will do our best to give you the answers that you need, okay?
Okay. Oh, one question.
Mhm.
What does please provide any other comments regarding this webinar mean?
So if you have any comments, whether it's how I'm personally running it, or if you think there is something that you think I can improve on, please provide any feedback.
Oh,
Or if there's something that you really want to learn about, but we don't have a webinar on it, you can also provide some ideas for that. It can be anything that you'd like, even if it's positive feedback, like, yeah, you guys did great. But yeah, any
okay.
constructive criticism is always appreciated.
Okay. Right now.
Yeah, so as Suha mentioned, we do want everyone to complete the survey if you are able to. There is about roughly 28 participants. So I'll give you 1 more minute to log on, and then I'll be passing it off to Lisa, who will have her own PowerPoint slides to go through.
Okay, cool. Let's see it yet. هشرح بكرة.
So just some housekeeping rules. If you could all have yourselves on mute unless you have a question. That's just so we can prevent any feedback and ensure that while Lisa's speaking, it's clear and concise.
Okay. Sorry.
No, thank you so much for speaking to me. So as a quick introduction, Lisa Kohler is the Executive Director of Halton Environmental Network. She is definitely super instrumental in all of the events that we've done. One of them is obviously Generation Green. We also did the 100 debates. We have the waste reduction program right now with Oakville residents. So she is very wonderful, very knowledgeable about climate change. And I'm really hoping that this will be helpful for you guys, because we did receive some feedback that you weren't too sure about what was going on with the world right now, and hopefully this will help you. So Lisa, if you would like to take it away from me.
Awesome. Thank you, Afreen. I think someone here needs to mute. Sorry, we're just getting it. Sorry, a bunch of us are at the hen office right now. So we're just trying to figure out who needs to mute. Sorry for the feedback. Okay. Okay, can everyone hear me okay?
There's a little bit of feedback, Lisa.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry for the feedback, everybody. Hopefully it's better now. Can you hear me better now without feedback?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick Climate 101. So this is your fast kind of 101. Like Freen said, my name is Lisa Kohler. I'm the Executive Director of the Halton Environmental Network. I do have a degree in environmental policy and analysis, and I do a lot of work with mitigation and adaptation. I am part of the Halton Climate Collective. I am part of the leadership team as well. So today, my slides, my information comes from a project called Climate Reality. I am a climate reality leader. Very happy to say that. Al Gore is our leader, the former vice president, and all the slides that I am showing you today are from former Vice President Al Gore. So the first slide you guys are looking at is our beautiful home. This is a slide, the first picture ever taken of our planet. It is from NASA. Everyone knows who NASA is. This picture we call the blue marble. So the blue marble, or the planet, this, I just want you guys to focus on this for 1 second. Look at it. It's small. It's all we've got. It's defined. It is a space that is limited. I need you to think about that as I'm going forward.
Okay.
So this is climate change 101. This is exactly it. I'm going to tell you guys this is the fastest science. So right now we have our beautiful sun. The sun beams down onto our planet. It warms up the planet through the radiation. This is good. We want heat from the sun to come to planet Earth. As I said, most of the radiation is absorbed by the planet. Again, that is good. We need the planet to be warm. Some of that energy or radiation goes back into space. Some of the radiation is trapped, the heat is trapped. And again, what it creates is like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. The porridge is not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right. In the perfect system, some radiation goes out of the planet, some stays in. It creates a perfect degree, perfect temperature for our planet to do what the planet needs to do. Unfortunately, this is the kicker. Right now on our planet, we have a buildup of CO2 or greenhouse gas emissions. Other emissions, methane, etc., they're all greenhouse gas emissions. Right now, you can see on our planet, we're getting a thickening around the planet that is gumming up or creating the radiation to get trapped inside of our planet. I'm going to give you a very gross analogy. You will always remember this. This is it. I want you to think of your sink in your bathroom. It's disgusting. It gets gummed up with hair and lots of things. What happens? Your sink gets plugged. The water does not go down the drain. That is what's happening on our planet. Unfortunately, we are creating a blocked up atmosphere that is no longer allowing that radiation, that heat to escape into space. And the planet is getting warmer and warmer and warmer. So how much are we polluting our planet? Every single day, it's 110 million tons of man-made global pollution. It is going into that atmosphere. It is blogging up. It's acting like a sewer. So someone's like drawing on my screen or something. Yeah, don't do that, whoever's doing that. Where are the sources of greenhouse gas emissions? Here's a whole bunch of them. So everywhere from air transportation, oil production, coal plants, land transportation, building use, ag sector, industrial, mining, all of those things are our biggest sources on the planet Earth for greenhouse gas emissions. Again, those emissions go into the atmosphere, they plug up. We cannot allow the heat to escape. How much, you might say to yourself? A lot. We know it's faster than any time in at least the last 66 million years. We know this through science and through data. 100%, that is what's happening. If you look since the 1920s, really when the cars started coming around, you do see the spike. So this shows you that the pollution is burning fossil fuels at an accelerated rate. When we match that with temperatures, you will see it. This is my favorite model ever. It's from NASA. It really shows you, look for the Industrial Revolution. You see it coming through. You see when cars really start activating around our planet, when population started exploding. This is what we are looking at. Right now, the temperature is very much high in the top of the planet and the lower end of the planet. The hottest year on records, we know those years have been the last 4 years. And we see that global surface temperature has increased again since the 1980s is when we really see a shift. I could go on and on and on and show you guys lots and lots of details around how our climate is being affected by the increased levels of greenhouse gas emissions. Climate change just isn't about temperature, though. I want to be very clear on this last point. When our temperature increases, we have other effects. Our planet becomes windier, wetter, and wilder. Those have significant effects globally, locally as well. I could dive into that more, but really we don't have that much time. So I just kind of wanted to give you a 101. So your takeaways, again, we're polluting 110 million tons of greenhouse gas emissions every single day on this planet. Those emissions, that pollution, clogs up our atmosphere and does not allow that radiation to escape. Thus, we are having this warming of our planet. That warming is creating climate change. Climate change, we see the effects through wetter, windier, and wilder weather effects. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions? Excellent. Afreen, it's back to you now, my friend.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lisa. That was actually very informative. So for everyone that was asking, Lisa, are you able to share your presentation with the participants after the webinar? Is that okay with you?
I am not allowed to share that slide deck, unfortunately. I can share content, and I'm happy to revisit with anybody and give them a deeper dive if they so need.
Okay, that's quite all right. Just as a reminder to everyone, we are recording these webinars too, so you can always just go back and listen to Lisa once more if you were a bit confused on one portion of it. So, okay. So did anyone have any questions for Lisa before I start moving on? No? Okay. And did anyone have any questions before I move on for me personally or for Suha?
We can't stop sharing my screen. Anybody know how to do that?
You have to go into the meeting and then turn off the share. Here, if I sorry guys.
Lisa, just unstart your video. Just press the start video and just close it.
Okay. Thank you. And I will just share my screen. Okay. So hopefully that was a bit more informative for you guys. Again, if you do have any questions about climate change or you're unsure about certain topics, you're always welcome to email me or Alana, who's the facilitator as well, or any of the youth stakeholders or Lisa. We are always checking our emails and we're more than happy to help you. But as a main point of contact, definitely Alana and I will be monitoring it more often, and we'll make sure we get back to any questions that you might have. So just as a refresher, we do want you to have a community initiative which needs to be measurable, and what you're doing is you want to decrease the amount of greenhouse gases that are being emitted into the atmosphere. So this can look like anything, and you can participate with anyone, and you can earn volunteering hours, a pizza party, a certificate of completion, and awards. And for anyone who's going into university or college, it's going to look amazing on your application that you did this on your spare time and you're able to implement this amazing initiative and see the results. So we do recommend, if you need some help with any portion of your project, volunteering. So for the volunteering hours, sorry, we are working on how to actually measure that. So I will get back to you on that later, Alexia. So thank you for that question. And yeah, so the biggest key factors to actually making your initiative happen is to identify a major source of greenhouse gas emissions in your community. This could be seeing how much traffic is coming into your school, or maybe your church or community group just has a lot of food waste. So seeing anything like that would be a great starting place. there are several initiatives that are being taken place at school right now that I know of, and this could be like planting trees or to get students and parents to carpool together. All of these things, even though they may seem small, will be instrumental in helping you with the greenhouse gas reductions. So like I said, for the next step, it's brainstorming, just like how I did right now. There are several different ways and different things that you can do, and you shouldn't feel obligated to do it by yourself. You are always welcome to bring in your friends or your family or even your team. Anyone can help you do this initiative, and just know that you're not alone. And then, of course, the third step is to choose the activity that interests you the most. And we do know that the math portion of it is a little bit scary. So if you want, you can try to take a more easier initiative so that it's simple enough to kind of input those numbers. And if you do have some struggles with the calculations portion, we are having a webinar solely on going over how to track and measure and report your impact. So please don't find it daunting or think that it should inhibit your creativeness. We want you to pursue your biggest possible dream. And me and Alana are here to help you if you're kind of struggling and not really understanding where to kind of bring those numbers in. So always feel free to reach out to us. And then the last step is to submit your project proposal. So I will show you this, this link below just so that I can run through the questions with you. Let me just share that side of the screen. So this is the project proposal. And it's really straightforward, and we're not asking for too much. We just want to see where you're kind of going with your initiative, how we can help you, and you just have to put your name, your email address, school, and grade. And then we just need 1 to 2 sentences for each of these questions. So it's the who, the what, the when, where, why, and then the how. It's your 5 W's and 1 H, or 2 H's, technically. There's 2 hows. So what do you propose to do for your community initiative? Very simple, like I plan to do carpooling for all the students on the soccer team. And then who do you propose the main target audience is? Well, it's your team players. When do you propose? If it's, so the deadline is March, so it has to be within January to March, because we do want to kind of see where you're going with this and try to have that impact ready. Then it's where do you propose to carry it out? This could be through your church, your school, your house, your friend's house, anything that you want. It's up to you. And then why did you choose it? It's anything that you find interesting about it. You thought that, well, I see a lot of cars on the road and there's so much traffic at the school parking lot that I thought I could reduce it. Anything like that. And then how will your initiative reduce your community greenhouse gases? If we're still going off the cars example, it's to reduce the amount of gasoline that's being used in the short distances. So getting people to walk instead of using their car, or getting people to carpool when they're going from the same area. So it's reducing the amount of gasoline and the carbon emissions from those cars. And then how will you measure your impact? That's really up to you. You can do it through a Menti survey, depending on your initiative, or you can do it through measuring a baseline of before and after your initiative. So it's really up to you. It's really simple. If you do have questions about how to actually answer these questions, always feel free to shoot us a question. It shouldn't take longer than 5 minutes, but if you are struggling, no problem, we're here to help. So just as a friendly reminder, for people who are messaging on the group chat, I will be looking at it later. Suha is creating a mass question sheet for me, and I'll be answering all the questions at the end. But please feel free to keep messaging your questions there. Just a reminder that I'm not ignoring you or anything. So,
I have a quick question.
yeah, go for it.
So like not just for me, but for everyone's who was on this call, can you give us maybe some kind of examples of initiatives we can start? Like what kind of projects we can do, just to kind of get our minds going on things that we can start?
Okay, sure. Yeah. So on our last webinar, we did go through 3 examples, and a couple students were sharing what they had been planning. So you know what? I'm actually going to have one of our youth stakeholders try to explain his initiative.
Yeah.
So there, could you please let us know what you're going to try to do?
Thank you. So I've decided to team up with a friend of mine who also participated at this event. So we have reached out to 5 to 6 businesses in Oakville. They're not big businesses, mainly restaurants. We have calculated their initial carbon emission rate, and we've told them about what they can do, find alternatives to, for example, plastic, change their practices, reduce meat consumption. So, and we are also thinking of giving them some incentive, like a certificate from HEN. So this is what we are doing. And secondly, we've also talked to our principal at school to reduce the use of plastic bottles and cups in the school. So we are working within the school and the community as well. So this is one example that you might perhaps use it in your project as well. There you go.
That's wonderful. Does any of the other youth stakeholders have a project that they have in mind that they'd like to share with the group?
I have a project that I'm actually working on, but not on my own. I'm working kind of like with a bunch of group of people where we're having this environmentally friendly marathon happening in May, where it's kind of going to be like a biking marathon, and it's going to be all like environment friendly. So reusable water bottles only used, food that's like vegetarian, things that are just very like helpful, or things that don't harm the environment. That we're still in the planning process at the moment, so we don't have anything finalized, but that's just like an event I'm working on with a bunch of other people.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Haya. We also have Dorian, who's another youth stakeholder. He actually hosted the Tech Under 20 workshop at Gen Green. So Dorian, if you could please let us know your initiative.
So I'm thinking, sorry.
You have to turn down.
Thank you, Claire. I'm thinking about working with my school to track the local traffic around my school. I'm going to be doing it before and after.
You have to turn down.
Sorry, guys. So I'm going to work with my school to try to track the traffic going around that main road to try to figure out what's actually going on. I'm going to do a before and after study where I encourage people to carpool, encourage people to walk and bike, and then I'll be able to see the difference, be able to see the effect of that. Exactly. I'll be able to measure and track the greenhouse gas emissions of my change. And then I'll be able to take that, scale it up, and create kind of a package so other people can do that in their schools.
Thank you, Dorian. That was wonderful. Do any of the other youth stakeholders like to share? Was that
Hi, everyone. It's Kane. I use he, him. So my project's still very much in the pipeline right now, just because of the scope that I'm trying to achieve. But I'm really looking to pilot a program either that uses trash as an incentive or payment for students to get rides on bus. So like rather than like using like $4 to like get a ride home from school in the afternoons, like you pick up trash and then like you would be able to like weigh that at your school, and then that would deposit like a bus credit or something like that. Or a much lower tech version, like more effective, would be to like a lot of universities have like agreements with the cities that they're in for free bus transport for all students, and then just sort of show the bus driver their ID card. And if we could implement something similar for like high school students, I know many high schools in HDSB have student cards. I'm not sure about the elementary schools, but if we were to have like a student-free bus ride scheme implemented in Oakville and even in Halton, I think that would one, limit the amount of cars on the road. Two, ease congestion during peak times, because you have a lot of cars moving in the morning rush hour and in the evening rush hour. You would lower accidents in terms of like a healthcare point of view. Young males are like the highest risk demographic for car accidents and like on-road injuries. And the like most obvious, you'd be reducing the amount of greenhouse gases emitted from cars on the road. So that's still very much a pipeline program right now, but I am looking to get more in touch with that over December break and hopefully have more concrete stage work for that sometime in March. Nice.
That's amazing. Thank you. So hopefully whoever asked that question.
Anything from anyone else? I'm gonna jump back onto mute, but guys, take it away.
Yeah, if any other youth stakeholders would like to share, definitely you have the time to. If not, we can also move on as well. No? Okay, wonderful. So hopefully whoever asked the question about sharing what initiatives there already are, hopefully that really helped you as well as the other participants. But yeah, so thank you so much for the question, and thank you to the youth stakeholders for sharing what you're doing. So I'm just gonna go back to the screen share. And it's just showing you the types of resources that we have. So obviously we do have the bi-weekly webinars, which you saw at the beginning had the schedule of the remaining webinars left until March. We do have additional resources on our website. If you click on here, you will see, oh, it's not sharing. Hold on. I guess you guys can't see my screen yet.
No, we can't. No, I can't see your screen.
No? Okay. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you see the youth unconference?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Excuse me, I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So now when like I went to do the survey, I wrote the code, but then just showed me the logo for the green generation. It didn't do anything. It was just like a white screen and just the logo.
Oh, okay. Well, we will have a post survey as well, which we have a different code for. So it might have just timed out. If you'd like to just, I don't know why it'd be showing that because we did reset it. Lisa,
Try refreshing the page.
Yeah?
I don't know why.
So try refreshing it and try putting in the code again. It should be another 48 hours that we have that on.
Okay.
But if you're still having troubles, just let me know in the chat, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. So if you click on this resources tab at the top, it will go to all the things that we have there. It'll have our webinars, which we are recording currently. We will also have the PowerPoint slides that I'm going through. Unfortunately, Lisa's obviously can't be shared, but you will be able to listen to her speaking. And my internet is not going through, but I promise you, if you go here, it'll show you everything you need. Oh, there we go. So here's the winter webinar series. There's also the panel discussion that we had at the Generation Green Youth On Conference. We also have the how to measure and track and report your impact, all of the recordings for it, the slides, the summary, and even practice questions as long as with the answers as well. If you are struggling filling these out or not really understanding where the numbers are coming from, like I said, always feel free to message Alana and I. We are more than happy to help you. And a really beneficial thing that I think will really help you with your initiatives is our toolkit. And we have the full toolkit here for you, broken down with the mission, the workshop summaries, and then again, this page on how to measure and track and report your impact. And it has all of the key equations for you, as well as if you scroll down, you'll have all of the charts where the coefficients are, dependent on whatever initiative you decide to take. And like I said, you can also request for Alana and I to do one-on-one or group meetings in your school. At the school portion, that will be more Alana, but for me, I can do outside of school hours at the library or even through Zoom calls or phone calls. So here are your next steps. Hopefully you guys aren't overwhelmed and you're feeling a bit more excited about planning this. So yes, we will have our webinar slides and recordings to be posted on the website that I just showed you. Our next webinar will be after the holidays, so January 7th. So that'll help you with brainstorming and planning and executing your initiative. And you can always register at this link, which will be posted on the website as well. That form that I showed you where it had the 5 W's and the 2 how questions, that is due on Sunday, January 12th by midnight. This is not supposed to be something that is daunting or something that should cause you stress. All we're doing is trying to check in with you to see where you are going with your initiative, how you're planning on actually implementing your measure wherever you decide to do it. And we just want to see if there's any gaps in what you're planning to do and how we can kind of help you through it and point out any weak points and help you strengthen it. And yeah, we have our wrap-up event on March 20th, which will be super fun. We have pizza, we have prizes, and we are just celebrating what you guys were able to create. And yeah, that is our webinar. Thank you for coming. This is Alana on the side, and that's me. You can contact us through our emails or phone us. We are always available to answer any questions you might have. And now it is the question period. Suha, if you could so kindly maybe read out some questions that have been popping up in the chat. I know it's been lighting up quite a bit. Suha?
Hello?
Hey,
You guys hear
Suha.
me? Yes. No.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm not sure if they can hear me. Oh, perfect. Okay. So most people have been asking if Lisa is able to share her presentation afterwards. No, she's not able to share the slide deck, but a lot of you guys were asking how the recording of the webinar will be made available. So once this all is over, we are going to send you guys a link in your emails, and that's how you guys are going to have access. So that way you'll have access to Lisa's presentation, but also all of the other facts mentioned and also all of the other questions that were answered. Also, you guys were asking about the volunteer hours. Just by being on the webinar, you guys are earning volunteer hours. That's why it's super important for you guys to introduce yourself in the chat box, in the chat room, sorry, so we can capture your name and your school and your grades so we can give you the volunteer hours. We're not sure when we'll be able to give those to you guys because we're still trying to find an efficient way to measure those, but you will get them. Just remember to tell us who you are so you get them eventually. And also, you guys need to complete both the surveys that were mentioned during the webinar. The first one was on menti.com and the code was 3026, and the second one is also on menti.com and the code is 538003. And Uzair has shared both of the codes in the chat room, so you'd be able to access them from there.
And they'll be live, those codes. The surveys will be live for 2 hours.
Yeah, so afterwards, after the webinar is over, the survey is still going to be live for about 2 hours. So if you haven't completed those, please make sure you do so because it's very important that we get that information from you guys. Perfect. Is there anything else you guys asked?
I've tried my best to like keep tracking people, but some people have like.
So I keep saying that you guys need to introduce yourselves in the chat room. We keep having more people join, which is awesome, but we just need to make sure we know who you are so we can give you guys the recognition that you guys deserve for being here in the first place. So if you can introduce yourselves, it would be very, very helpful for us. And
so for the questions in the chat box, I'm just reviewing it right now. For someone who asked, the friends who didn't attend Generation Green, yes, of course they can help you. No problem with that. You can get anyone, whether it's in your community, at your school, your family, anyone can help you with your initiative. Sorry, Suha, I cut you off. Did you have something for me? Suha?
it's all good. We're all good.
Okay. Okay, so did anyone have questions for me or for Lisa or anything to do with your initiatives? Feel free now to ask us. That's why we're here to help you.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So for attending the Generation Green conference and the last webinar, are you guys going to give volunteers hours for that too?
Suha or Lisa, do you know if the Gen Green unconference also counts towards volunteering?
You bet. Absolutely. Great question.
Okay, thank you.
As long as we got your name registered, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
So just a friendly reminder to do that post survey. We would super appreciate it, especially me, because I would love your feedback. I'm already keeping track of the next time what to do better. So I would love to hear from you guys as well what I can do better to help you guys. So I'm getting a couple questions right now in the chat. Yes, you can start your initiative as soon as possible, but I do recommend that you brainstorm first and have concrete plans on how you'll be tracking and measuring it. And this has a lot to do with kind of figuring out the key factors that will be instrumental for your project. So learning what your baseline will be and how to measure that, and then having that after baseline measurement as well. So if we go back to the carpooling example, you would measure how much greenhouse gases are being accumulated from all the cars that are coming in. So you're tracking how many cars are coming for a week or 2 weeks, however long you want. And then after that, once you've recorded that result, then you would implement the measure of getting people to carpool. And then you would measure how much it's reduced by the distances that have been traveled. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. So yes, you can start it immediately. But like I said, brainstorm, make sure it's concrete, and then go ahead. We appreciate the enthusiasm. Do you think the initiative? So if you're planning on starting your initiative in February, depending on what you are doing, it's not too late, as long as you have a concrete plan of what you're doing. So for the person who did that, ask that, when you're filling out the form, maybe provide a little explanation of why you wanted to do it in February. And then me and Alana can provide feedback if we think that maybe you should implement it a bit earlier. You do have until March 20th or a little bit before March 20th to implement this measure and properly account for all of the measurements that you need. And then I think that's all the questions I have on my end. Yes, you can email me whenever you'd like. My email is afreen@haltonenvironment.ca. It's on the slides, it's on the website. Feel free to email me anytime. And Okay. Does anyone on the call have any questions for me? No? Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I asked the question about if it was too late to do it in February, and and you said no, but I already submitted the survey. I mean the form with like the who, what, where, when. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you for submitting it so early. I
Okay.
definitely looked that over with Alana, and we'll get back to you about it, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good job for submitting it so early. Goodness, you had it all planned.
Hello?
Yes. Hi.
I have a question. My initiative starts at April.
It starts in April?
Yeah, because like my thing is add on to a different project that's in April. It's called the Sustainability Week. Sorry that I'm gonna turn off my mic volume. So I can't fit it into our schedule. So yeah, we have to do it in April.
Okay. Lisa, actually, do you think you could help me with this? I think that should be fine if they're doing it in April. It's just we would need to kind of work with you on how to properly measure what the potential impact would be from this event that you're planning in April.
100%, Afreen. Great question. Thank you so much. Yeah, I definitely think we could do something. Why don't you reach out to Alana at alana@haltonenvironment.ca. And Alana can help guide you to how to track that future event for your community during that Sustainability Week. I don't think that would be a problem. Again, if you can email Alana at haltonenvironment.ca. And she can even come to anybody's school during the lunch hour or during maybe if you're meeting as an eco team. She can come out and really talk to you guys about your project, how to track, measure, and then report back on your impact at any time.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. That brings up a wonderful question, actually, because I did get this on the last webinar, and one of the students wanted to plant trees, but as you know, we have very long winters and you can't plant trees right now. So she was a bit concerned about how to implement and measure her project, but there is no concerns with that because you would just have to do the same thing like we explained to you. You are future projecting how much you'd be able to capture and reduce from actually planting those trees. And then hopefully you'll kind of stick with it and do the planting of the trees after this event has passed in March. So no, you don't have to be finished by March 20th, but you will need to submit that calculations portion of that future projection that you're aiming for. So that was another question that I received on my end as well. You're welcome. Any other questions? Like I said, I'll be here for a few more minutes. So that is all on my end. I'm leaving this time to let you ask any questions that you'd like. But I really hope you enjoyed the webinar, and I really appreciate you guys logging on and dedicating time to actually do something about this climate emergency that we have in our world. And it's just inspirational to see such young minds trying to help the world right now. I'm really inspired by you guys. So thank you so much. You are welcome to log off at any time. If you have questions, stay on and ask me. I'll be here for the next few minutes. And as a reminder, please do that post survey. I would really appreciate it because I love all the feedback that I'm gonna get, and I want to better myself so that I can help you be a better teacher. So thank you guys.
Thanks,
Afreen.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks, Everine.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank
No
you.
problem. Bye.
Have a good
Bye.
holiday.
You
Have a good
too.
break. Bye.
Bye.